Kennedy, and this is the introduction speech for class. The saying that I like to start off with is called, "Be true to and love, this you must do, unless your love is false to you. These 8 words the read fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will." What that is the final 3 lines of the Wiccan read, and that's kind of what I try to go by in my everyday life. Again, my name is Alan Kennedy, and I will be telling you about my career, my future career goals, schooling history, about my family, and the little bit of free time I do get to have. Anyway, we'll start with my career. Right now I am the dietary manager of Pawnee Manor, meaning that I am in charge of the kitchen, the staff, and keeping track of the nutrition of my residents. I was offered the job back in April. Prior to that, I was the dietary manager of Nye Point up in Fremont. Just some random details about my job. I have to deal with the budget control, the ordering for the kitchen, and the supplements for the nursing staff. I deal with the scheduling, the menu selection, staff training, development per state, federal guidelines. I have to enforce the state and federal guidelines from the tray line, all the way from the ordering down to the tray line. I have to deal with the nutritional risk reports on my residents, care planning for the residents, monitoring my residents' weights, work with the registered dietitian concerning residents' nutritional state, and working with other doctors concerning diet orders, supplement orders, texture orders, as well as working with speech therapists, occupational therapists, and physical therapists concerning different parts of ensuring that the resident can eat their meal not only in a manner that will encourage proper intake, but also in a manner that is pleasing to them and keeps good mental health. My main focus in my work is making the residents happy. Eventually, moving on into my future career goals. October, I will be sitting in for my certification exam. After that, I will be a certified dietary manager. The reason I'm taking this class is I'm working on my associates in dietetics. Once I get my associates, I will be upgrading my certification from a CDM to what is called a DTR, Diet Tech Registered. Why the registered is at the end, I have no idea. I think it sounds better as a registered diet tech, but I didn't make it. After that, I'll plan on getting my bachelor's in dietetics and then further upgrading my certification again to be a registered dietitian. After that, I'm kind of in a gray area. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm either going to get my master's in administration and become a certified nursing home administrator, or if I'm living in Omaha, this is kind of the deciding factor. If I'm living in Omaha, then I'm going to enroll in Creighton University and work on upgrading it and getting my medical degree. My schooling history, that's kind of a long story in itself. I started out of high school at Southwest Community College in Iowa, and I was majoring in structural steel drafting. And I was good at it. I was always good at math, but it was just so boring. I can't tell you how unbelievably boring it was. I would fall asleep in front of the computers because you can only draw so many straight lines. I took kind of a break from school for a couple of years and then started back at Iowa Western. And at that time I was majoring in psychology. And even in high school I'd always wanted to be a psychiatrist, and so I figured this is going to be my calling. I'm going to be a psychiatrist, and I was hell-bent on being a psychiatrist. Well, I ended up moving to Arizona and transferred to University of Phoenix, continuing with the major in psychology. Eventually we moved back to Iowa, still majoring in psychology. I started cooking at my sister's nursing home. Well, I was offered a job at the mental health center there in Atlantic, Iowa, which is my hometown. And I got to work direct care with the mentally ill. Well, that was quite an eye-opener for me, and I realized I didn't want to major in psychology anymore. After working with the elderly and cooking meals for them, I realized that I want my elderly people back. So I called my old boss, and she offered me my old job back, and eventually I ended up moving to Nebraska, and the dietary manager there was working at two facilities within the same company, and she needed somebody to take over the smaller one. So she offered it to me since I had the most experience that she had hired on, and I became the dietary manager of Nye Point and started my schooling all over again, majoring in dietetics. And I'm going a year into it, and I absolutely love it. So there's my school history. As far as my family, I have one brother, one sister. They both live in Iowa, and they're both married, and they both have children. I am married to Chris Kennedy. He took my name. And we got married in Iowa about 4 months before moving to Nebraska. And even though we're in Nebraska, I still consider him my husband, even if Nebraska doesn't recognize the marriage. As far as children, we have one cat named Boots, and he is spoiled rotten, and he cries. My free time, I really don't have free time. I don't know what that is. I work 50 plus hours at the manor. On the weekends, I am cooking at another facility. I try to get as many credits in a quarter so I can get the schooling done as quickly as I can. But I also have to be careful not to overload myself, because I've done that before. It didn't turn out so well. I do try to make it. There's a little winery here in town, and they brew their own beer and they make their own wine. And I do try to make it out there at least once a month, preferably on the week, every other weekend, but at least once a month. And it's just nice sitting outside with your bottle of wine and watching the sunset over the grapevines, and it's just relaxing. And that's what I really do on my free time, once a month. Anyway, in conclusion, again, my name is Alan Kennedy, and I have told you basically what makes me me. My job, my goals, my school history, my family, and my lack of free time. So, again, sorry about the webcam. I know the video's kind of jumpy, but I'm fairly sure that the audio is good. And my next speech will be on camera, a regular camera. Anyway, thank you for your time, and y'all have a great day.